Hello, I'm Dave Christie, part of the national slate of LaRouche Democrats for U.S. Congress. Our nation is now in the middle of an ongoing storm, what we just saw rip through with this hurricane on the East Coast, but really a storm, a political storm, caused by this insanity of Obama, who is the one saying we can't forecast this stuff, we can't forecast earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis, terrorism. This is his line. However, he's the one taking down the very same satellites that would give us the capability to forecast the hurricanes, give us the capability to forecast the seismic threat that we faced here on the West Coast with the earthquakes and tsunamis and so on. Now, LaRouche has laid forward the solution, and the slate of LaRouche Democrats are fighting for this nationally and are recruiting a mass movement to do so. But it's the 7 steps to survival, beginning with the immediate removal of Obama, the implementation of Glass-Steagall, and the construction of NWAPA and everything that those policies entail for national and international cooperation. And with NWAPA, we see that this is not simply the creation of 7 million jobs. That it will do. With the construction of the water project, we will be able to equalize the water system of the United States to stop the droughts and floods that we're now seeing. But we will be, with the related transportation and energy production, will really be providing a platform of the capability of launching a revolution in science and applying the scientific principles to create new technologies to get mankind out of the crisis that we face. Now, we can do that. But what is the main block that we face? It's this evil insanity of environmentalism. Now, I'm here on the campus of Western Washington University, and behind me is the Huxley College for Environmental Science. This is Thomas Huxley, right? This is the kook, the controller of Darwin, who used Darwin to promote this social Darwinism for the benefit of the British imperial system. Perhaps with Huxley, we see in his grandchildren the core of what we face now around this insanity of what the baby boomer generation adopted of environmentalism, right? This is during the 1960s with Aldous and Julian. We see at the beginning of the 60s, we're at the height of the civil rights movement led by Martin Luther King of social and economic justice. We see with John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert, we see them promoting NASA and NWAPA and creating a capability of a scientific renaissance of unlimited potential for mankind. What do we see from Aldous and Julian? With Aldous, we see drugs on the campuses, LSD, drop out of society, forget the future, become self-consumed. And with Julian, we see, he's the head of the British Eugenics Society, the president of the British Eugenics Society from 1959 to 1962, the height of the civil rights movement. But this is the time where he's also, promoting the environmentalism, beginning this. 1961 gives one of the key speeches that led to the formation of the World Wildlife Fund, which, of course, Prince Philip, the husband of this evil little Queen of England, Prince Bernhard, who was a card-carrying Nazi, right? So this is what environmentalism is. It is a continuation of the eugenics policy. It is to keep mankind and creativity backwards. And what we see now with the promotion of this global warming hoax is it's a platform to create global governance, to get everybody flipped out that global warming and we give up your sovereignty. We're going to impose global governance in the middle of this economic breakdown. So that's what this is. It must be destroyed. We're destroying it with this policy of NWAPA to reinstill what it actually is to be human, because that's to be said on environmentalism. I mean, we could go through, the history's been done on governance, the history's been done on who created it, but what it does at the core is takes away mankind's basic human compassion, what resides in their soul, to see what's going on in the Horn of Africa of 20 million people starving, 500,000 children, probably more, starving to death, or in our own country where 1 in 7 Americans are suffering on food stamps and suffering from food insecurity. The environmentalist policy says maybe they should die off. Maybe we're overpopulated. We can't intervene to stop the floods and deal, to make sure our food crop doesn't get wiped out. That'd be interfering with nature. So that's what this does, is it takes away that core part of the soul, which is to have concern for the entirety of mankind. Now, we are leading the charge to get NWAPA in to reinstate that immortal mission. And that's what we're leading around the nation. The slate of LaRouche Democrats are recruiting candidates to adopt this policy of getting Obama out, getting Glass-Steagall in, and building NWAPA. And that's how we're going to get out of the crisis of civilization. That's how we're going to provide the foundation to deal with the oncoming galactic threat. And we are recruiting. You should join us, mobilize with us. The fate of mankind is at threat, but we can solve this crisis.